Hey, what's going on, Visionaries? Jason Osborne, JO Vision, back again with another video. Today, we're still talking about editing. I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a long time, which is basically go from raw to a complete finished edit photo. And this photo was actually posted to my Instagram today, this morning, so it's a complete fresh photo for you guys to view. Also, we're gonna be using Lightroom and Photoshop for this edit. And if you want to, you can make sure to check the description below so you can see the timestamps. You might not wanna watch the whole entire thing, or you might just be interested in certain things like maybe my skin retouching or color grading, or maybe just some basic edits that I do in Lightroom. So go ahead, check the description below to find the timestamp that you're most interested in. Anyway, we're gonna start with Lightroom first, so let's get started. All right, guys, what's going on? Let's get this photo edited. All right, this is the photo that I'm going to be editing. Before we get even started, you can check out the details right here. I did this at 1/64th of a second, 640th of a second, f2.8 wide open, ISO 100, 24-70, 2.8 2 lens for Canon, L series at 33 millimeters. You know, awesome working with Alicia. She's a veteran. You know, she's an awesome model. She's a photographer. She had this awesome location, which is a helipad. And, you know, we got some really dope shots in. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I really like this. It kind of fits the portrait style. The crop is appealing. And you know, I put her up against this fence stairway, and it came out really well. So right there, you know, that's the Instagram crop. If you don't know what the Instagram crop is, it's 4x5, 8x10. That's the biggest that you can upload your picture to Instagram. Zooming in, super sharp. Love this lens. Just got it, 24-70, an amazing lens. Love it. Look how sharp that is, even wide open at 2.8. So I am totally happy with that, and I'm loving the shadows and everything. I did use off-camera flash for this. There was a couple other shots that we wanted to get some of the sky in. I was using two AD 200s. That's AD as in dog 200 flashes combined to get this power. 5D Mark IV was the camera that I shot it with. So basically, this is straight out of camera, and it's not really anything crazy. You know, I'm probably gonna play around with the shadows a little bit, but the shadows are also making this picture. So I'm gonna start right here in the first section of Lightroom and play around with the light a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and play around with this. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, and then when I get to the final product, as far as this section right here, we'll move on. All right. So basically super easy. I probably didn't even have to fast forward that, to be honest. All I really did was just cool off the temperature a little bit. I boosted the contrast just a little bit. I increased the shadows, and I think I'm gonna increase them just a little bit more, just so we can get some more detail on her hair and then the outfit. And then clarity, I boosted to 10. Dehaze, I left alone. Vibrance, I increased just a little bit. So now that we have that, let's focus in on these eyes. Let's whiten these up a little bit. This is gonna be a quick edit, I can tell already. And this is why it's benefits to get it right in camera, because then you don't have to worry about fixing 10 million things. So I use the teeth whitening option for the brush tool in Lightroom to whiten my eyes. And it's a helpful tool, because with portraits, eye contact can be everything sometimes. Hit O on your keyboard if you want to see where the effect is actually being applied. Then I'm gonna go over to Iris Enhance. I don't do too much with that, just, you know, just dark eyes, but, you know, give it a little bit of life. Go ahead and sharpen this photo up a little bit. I usually stay around 68 to 70. Take this little crosshair, put it over the eye, bring this to about 66. That's good. Masking, hold the Alt key. And basically everything that's white is being sharpened, everything that's dark, it's not being sharpened. So obviously you know, you don't want to sharpen the unimportant details. So I'm gonna bring that to about right here. That's good. Not any noise, but I'm just gonna hit the noise reduction to 5, just to give it a little soft. No chromatic aberrations. Enable profile corrections, cool. And we're gonna add a slight vignette. It's a slight one. That's all. -8, perfect. So let's go back up to hue, saturation, and luminance. Let's play around with some colors. I don't know what this gray is gonna register as, so registering as purple. This will tell you right here, this little symbol. You can put it over wherever you want, and it'll tell you what color it's registering as. So this is registering as purple. See what happens. So I'm gonna leave that. It's a nice little tint, purple tint. All right, that's all I really play with the hue saturation for this. I don't think I'm gonna use much more than that. And I'm gonna go ahead and play around with the calibration. Now the calibration is awesome because it can control different colors all within the same spectrum and give you some really cool looks. So let's go ahead and bring this blue hue over a little bit. And see her skin tone gets a little bit more livelier. I'm gonna keep that, I'll decrease that just a little bit. All right, right there. Okay, cool. Let's go with the green in the opposite direction. Put it right there. That's good. All right, so let's go before and after. Did mostly color work. You know, this is before, this is after. Cleaned it up a little bit. Nothing crazy. You know, didn't even touch the skin or anything like that yet, and really not gonna have to do too much. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and bring this into Photoshop so I can continue on. Right click, edit in Photoshop. All right, now that we're in Photoshop, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and start my action. I use the same layers every single time that I edit my photos, so instead of having to do it by scratch every time I upload a new one, I just created an action for myself. Now all I have to do is hit play, and all of my layers and settings fall in line for my Photoshop edit. Up and going. We're gonna start with the skin first. Frequency separation is down here, my texture, my color layer. I like to use the healing brush tool. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in, like right here. And then I'm gonna create a black and white layer. Turn down the reds a little bit. Turn down the yellows a little bit. And this is gonna help me see the unevenness in the skin tones and some of the flaws that might be hidden by highlights or anything like that. Now that I have all that, I'm gonna go back to my texture layer, and I'm just going to start selecting great and healthy looking pieces of skin and covering, using those pieces to cover up any blemishes that I might see. So I'm just gonna, do this subtly. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to fast forward this section. You're gonna see it moving around, and then I'll come back when I'm done. All right. Okay, so now that that's done, what we're gonna do is focus on dodging and burning. So I'm gonna start with the burn. I'm gonna go to my brush tool, basic brush tool, 2% flow. And basically I'm just going to accentuate any shadows or darks for the whole entire image. And usually I touch everything, even stairs and things like that. And that just really just helps add definition to the photos, dynamic range. Obviously you don't have to do everything, just little details that make it pop. So the jacket now, you know, any shadows, any darks, any blacks, the hat up here. Alright, so now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and go to the dodge, and basically the dodge is the same thing except for you're focusing on the highlights. So any bright areas, and you do this because it really just adds depth to your images, you know. Be a little time consuming, but you know, I noticed a nice improvement. And you can see now that I'm done pretty much with it, go ahead and keep the same energy for the dodge and the pole. This is with dodge and burn, without dodge and burn. With dodge and burn, without dodge and burn. See how she kind of just pops a little bit more with it? So, turn on my color grade tab. First layer is selective color. I like selective colors because it gives you a range of colors and then gives you the ability to control colors within that color. So you have your reds. Within that red, I can control the cyans of the red, the magenta of the red, the yellow of the red, the black of the red. I like the reds because it usually adds a nice healthy pop of color to the skin tones. Just like that, subtle. Nice little pop, boom. I don't really mess around, put tick like that, excellent, boom. Now I go to the yellows, same thing, adds a nice little pop. A little bit more yellow in there so she's not so pink. Okay, so that was the one with the first layer. Second layer is gradient maps of the color grade. So gradient maps, I usually set my opacity to 10, 12, then hit soft light. There it is. Okay, I'm down with that. That was easy. When you know it, you know it. And then last but not least, color lookup. Same thing, I set my opacity very low, around 8. Leave it at normal. And I usually just use film stock because that gives me a nice little punchy edge. Okay. So we are done with that. So turn everything off, bring it in how it came in straight from Lightroom. This is straight from Lightroom. Skin retouching, dodge and burn, color grade. Cool. All right. So now that that's all done, what I'm gonna do now is just hit save and go back into Lightroom to finish it up. All right, so here we go. On your right is what we had when it was just Lightroom by itself. On the left is our final edit right here. Just for even more of a comparison, I will go select this and reset it so you can see the raw photo. So here's the absolute raw photo right here, and then we did our Lightroom edit, and now we have our Photoshop edit. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So there you have it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this edit I did. The picture came out absolutely fire. Hopefully you learned a little something today as far as how I edit my photos, especially when it's for Instagram. And hopefully you guys are able to apply anything that you saw here today to your own editing techniques. Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I need all the likes I can get. Feel free to share this video as well. If you have a question about anything that you saw me do today, or if you have a comment or anything like that, leave it in the comment section below. I love talking to all of you, and I have no problem answering any of your questions. And please, like always, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm grateful for every one of you, all 2,000 and some change of you. And you know, I really just am excited for 2020 and what this year's gonna be in store for the channel. So thanks for rocking with me. You guys are all visionaries in my book, and you guys are part of the Visionary Squad. Anyway, this is Jason Osborne, J.O. Vision, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to y'all later. Peace.